Let's look at some example problems. We want to find the angle between 0 and 2 pi radians that is coterminal with the given angle. So we are given negative 5 pi over 3. Now, we're often going to be finding coterminal angles that are between 0 and 2 pi. In a sense, it's like reducing a fraction to lowest terms. It's just a standardized way of writing the angle so that we can easily compare values, okay? Now, what we said that we can do is we can add 2 pi every time. So since this is a negative angle, I'm going to add 2 pi. Okay, one thing I do want to point out is that the arithmetic here is a lot easier if you ignore the pi. We can treat it like a variable, and we can consider it as combining like terms. So if I want to add negative 5, if I have negative 5/3, and I want to add 2 pi to it, that gives me 1/3. And 1/3 is between 0 and 2. Just ignore the fractions, the pi for right now. So my answer is 1/3 pi, or pi over 3, which is what you are most likely to see. Okay? Now here, we're doing the same sort of thing here, but we have 23 pi over 6. Now, 23 divided by 6 is more than 2. So in this case, I'm going to subtract 2 pi over and over again until I get a number that is between 0 and 2. And again, you can ignore the pi and treat it like a variable. If I subtract 2, I get 11 over 6, and 12 over 6 would be 2, so this is less than 2. So this coterminal angle would be 11 pi over 6. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but with degrees. So instead of adding or subtracting 2 pi, we're going to add or subtract 360 degrees. If you're given a negative angle, you're going to add, because we want to get it positive. So add 360, and you get 240, which is between 0 and 360. So negative 120 degrees is coterminal with 240 degrees. Okay, now let's do 1,270 degrees. This is quite big, and there's a good chance we're going to need to subtract more than once. This is a lot bigger than 360, so we are subtracting. So let's subtract 360 degrees. And we get 910, which is still too big. So let's subtract 360 again, which gives me 550, which is still too big. So let's subtract 360 again. Degrees, and this gives us 190 degrees. So 1,270 degrees is coterminal with 190 degrees. Now let's look at complements and supplements. You probably know these definitions. Two positive angles are complements of each other, or complementary angles, if the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. So if we put these two angles adjacent to each other, side by side, they will make up a 90-degree angle. And then two positive angles are supplements or supplementary angles if the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. Now, sometimes people get these mixed up, but a lot of times people remember the two names and they remember 90 and 180. The trick to getting these paired up correctly is if you put complement and supplement in alphabetical order, then the degree measures are also in numerical order. Okay? Usually when we talk about complement and supplements, we talk about it in terms of degrees, but we could use radians. Okay, so the equivalent to 90 degrees in radians is pi over 2. And the equivalent of 180 degrees in radians is pi. So if we're talking about complements and we're in radians, then we would be looking for something that adds to 2 pi, pi over 2, sorry. And if we're looking for a supplement, they would need to add to pi. So let's find the complement and supplement of the given angles, or explain why the angle has none. Okay? If we have a 75-degree angle and we want to find its complement, then we want to find the value that I could add to 75 to get to 90. So all we have to do is 90 minus 75, which gives us 15 degrees. Okay? The supplement, we would do basically the same thing, except we would do 180 minus 75, which gives us 105 degrees. Okay. Now for 160 degrees, we want to find the complement and the supplement. Now, our definition said 2 positive angles that add to 90 degrees. This is larger than 90 degrees, and if I add any positive number to that, I'm not going to get back to 90 degrees. So there is no complement. It's too big. But we do have a supplement. We do 180 minus 160, and we get that its complement is a 20-degree angle.